Previous Swami Nikhileswarananda Maharaj, Swami Shardhananji, sisters and brothers, Om Namo Narayanaya. It is my privilege now to invite Swami Nikhileswarananda again to present his main discourse for this evening on this auspicious occasion of Krishna Jayanti. Swamiji will talk to us on Sri Krishna, the Pastoral and Kingmaker.
Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna has told, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam dharmasya tadatmanam sujamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Whenever there is a decline of dharma, righteousness, when there is too much of adharma spreading, too much of vices, too much of unrighteousness spreads, at that time, O Arjuna, I myself come to this earth, incarnate myself, and protection of the virtuous people and destruction of the wicked people I carry out. And that is how I establish religion, dharma, righteousness in the world. According to that promise, Lord comes in various forms as per the demand of the time. Such time had come. In Mathura, there was a very wicked king by the name Kamsa. Simultaneously in India at that time, there were so many kings they were wicked, unrighteousness was thriving, demons were more, good people were being oppressed, and the time had come when the sins were so much that the Mother Earth had to approach God, O Lord, please redeem me from the great heavy burden of the sins. And so Lord incarnated himself in the form of Sri Krishna, that is today on Krishna Ashtami day. The story is well known. Only thing today, being this sacred occasion, we just remember the story. The story is not unknown to anybody. We just recount the whole thing, how Sri Krishna was born, under what circumstances, what all he did, just to recapitulate the whole thing and to meditate on the divine life of Sri Krishna. Devaki was married to Vasudeva, and both were going in a chariot, and the charioteer was brother of Devaki, Kamsa. He loved his sister so much that he himself carried his sister, newly married sister. He was taking both of them to the bride's home. But just as they were driving, they were very happy, and the whole nature was rejoicing. All the people were rejoicing. Kamsa was very happy that he was taking his sister to the new place. Suddenly, everything changed. The nature changed. There was an unknown voice which was heard from above, and that was addressed to Kamsa. You fool, you are carrying your sister with so much of happiness, but don't you know that the eighth son of this your very sister is going to kill you? As soon as Kamsa heard it, he became full of anger Immediately he sprang up, took out the sword, and was just to kill his sister. Because if his sister is killed, no more son, no more he will be killed. At that time, Vasudeva came in between, he intervened, and he requested, you see, it is the son of Devaki who is going to destroy you, not Devaki. Devaki loves you very much, you love Devaki. I promise you, every child of Devaki will be offered to you. You may do whatever you like with that. But don't take up the life of this newly married Devaki. Kamsa thought, yes, the argument is good. It is the child of Devaki who is going to be my killer. But promise, yes, I promise, every child will be given to you. So on that promise, Devaki and Vasudeva were released. Kamsa immediately went to his palace, became full of morals, became unhappy. These two people also became unhappy. Everything changed. Somehow they were passing the days. The first child was born as per promise. Vasudeva brought the child to Kamsa. Kamsa immediately took it and just threw it on the stone and killed it on the spot. That was a very troublesome thing. Vasudeva could not tolerate it. But what to do? He had promised. One by one, 6 children were brought. All of them were smashed, killed on the spot by Kamsa. He didn't want to take any chance. Vasudeva told, it is the 8th son, but why do you kill the other 6? No, you fool, you don't know. Go. I don't want to take any chance. I don't want to be killed. And so all the 6 children killed. Now the 7th child, when the delivery was to come, but they found out that the womb is fruitless. In fact, what had happened is that Sankarshana had taken place. That is, the fetus was transferred to second wife of Vasudeva, Rohini. Some few years back, when this story was being told, nobody believed. How the fetus can be transferred? Now the scientists are doing it. There are surrogated mothers. The womb is being taken on rent. Yes, a lot of business is going on in the name of this surrogated mother. But they transfer the womb, they transfer the fetus, and it is being taken, and then the child comes up because the other woman is not ready to take it or cannot take it or is not prepared or is not able to do that. That is what is being done now. So science has proved it. There are so many things. Today it seems to us impossible. Yesterday they were seemed to be impossible. The modern sciences has made it possible. There are so many things even now today it seems to us impossible. Maybe tomorrow it will be done. We do not know. But this is what happened. The 7th child was transferred, so the name of the child was given Sankarshana. Later on he came to be named as Balarama. Now the time came for the 8th child. Kamsa became very ferocious. He didn't want to take any chance. So he brought Vasudeva and Devaki, both he imprisoned, put them into chains, heavy chains, under heavy guard. And he put 7 gates and lot of guards, lot of people, so that no foul play game is taken, no foul game takes place. He didn't want to take any chance. And day and night he was getting afraid. Oh, now the 8th child is coming. Now he'll kill me. Now the 8th is coming. Now he'll kill me. Day and night he is only obsessed with that idea. The Vishnu, he knew it is God who is going to kill. Vishnu with mass and with Sudarshan Chakra. Day and night he was thinking about that. And he could not remove this idea from his mind. So he looked upon the trees, beautiful flowers. There also within the flower he will see the Vishnu coming to kill him. Then he will look at the moon, beautiful moon. From the moon again he will see the same Vishnu coming to kill him. Everywhere he saw Vishnu, 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 everywhere Vishnu going to kill him. So he became terrified. Then he closed his eyes. After closing his eyes, from the darkness again came Vishnu. So he didn't know whether to close the eyes or whether to open the eyes. Both the times he is restless. He became mad. Nobody could go near him. He was always on fire, always shouting on queens, on anybody else. He became like madman, thinking about Vishnu. Always time thinking of Vishnu, who is going to kill him. And he didn't want to take any chance. And here Vasudev and Devaki, they were too much in tears, but what to do? There was no chance. They had to give this 8th child also. And they started praying to God, "Oh Lord, please protect us from this mad. You had promised that you will come and you will protect us. Please protect us." Their prayers went on. They were in the prison. It was midnight and there was heavy rain going on. Now the rain is very less outside. That time rain is very heavy. It is just reminiscent of what type of rain was there, only one reminiscent. So rain has to come on Krishnastami day. So rain, heavy rain. And the guards, they had been always awake day and night so that nothing happens, because Kamsa had told them. So they were on guards. But today, because of the heavy rain and because of the breeze that was going, in order to keep their spirits warm, they took a lot of liquor. And when they had taken a lot of liquor, so they fell into sleep. And they were all sleeping. All the guards sleeping. At that time, suddenly Vasudeva and Devaki saw a beautiful vision. Lord himself coming in the form of 16-year-old person with mass and discus and all that. Lord himself with the light, divine light, entered into the prison. They thought, what is this light? Then they saw the Lord. Then the Lord said, I have come to rescue you. Don't worry. I have come to your place. You will find me in the form of a small child. Immediately take me to Gokul, where your friend Nanda's wife, Jashoda, has just now given birth to a girl. Immediately go, transfer me there, bring that girl here. This was done, given blessing, and then the vision disappeared. And they thought, what is this? Have we seen a dream or what? Light disappeared. Now, he thought what to do. I have to go there and fetch that girl. And they saw beautiful child. The most beautiful child was lying there. And just Vasudeva clasped. Now, but no time has to be spent. It has to be immediately transferred to Gokul. But what to do? Feet are full of chains. But he gave a jerk and the chain removed miraculously. But now there are 7 gates, so many gates, and iron gates, very difficult to open. They were all closed. But somehow he pushed the gate and it opened miraculously. Then he pushed the second gate, opened. Likewise, miraculously, 7 gates opened. Now he was under the sky. Heavy rains, all darkness. How to find out the path? There was lightning. From time to time. And so he somehow found out the path. He went to a long distance, but now Yamuna was there flowing. And Yamuna was in full swing. How to cross Yamuna? He was bewildered. At that time he saw a jackal crossing the river, as if God sent jackal had come to show him how to cross. So he also started crossing. While he was crossing, suddenly the child went out of his clutches and he started weeping and beating his chest. My God, where is my child? Suddenly he found that child is under his nose. Immediately clasped it. Then started going. Somehow crossed Yamuna, ran towards Gokula. Gokula, he knew his friend's house, Nanda. Immediately went to Nanda's house. Miraculously, Nanda's house also gates are open. Went inside where Jashoda was sleeping. Jashoda was sleeping. On her chest was that one small newborn baby, but she didn't know that she has given birth to a child. Immediately, he kept Vasudeva kept the child on her bosom, took that girl and ran, again crossed the river, again went to the gates, came back. As soon as he came back, all the gates opened, closed. Immediately they got automatically closed. This is the beautiful description that we get in Bhagavata. And then these guards, they woke up morning. What happened? We all slept. They were, oh my God, they were very afraid. But when they came to know everybody was asleep, then they were, oh, happy, okay. Nobody is to complain. All are same. Now, as soon as they saw the child is born, it's a girl child, immediately they took that girl child to Kamsa. Kamsa was full of anger. What? Some foul play is there. How girl child can come? Then he came himself to verify there's something wrong. Nothing there. Came, Devaki, Vasudeva, both are there. Then he said, nothing has been done, nothing has been done. Then he was very much in anger. Immediately took that girl by the legs, very small girl, so delicate, but he was a cruel man. Just took the small leg of the child and immediately threw it onto the stone to be killed, to be smashed. As soon as he threw it, the girl took the form of a goddess and went up. And then she told, you fool, you are trying to kill me. The person who is going to kill you is already there in the house of Nanda, growing up in the house of Nanda in Gokula. And she disappeared. Now this Kamsa was full of anger. He wanted to kill the boy and he has not been killed and already has been saved. So he was in anger. Now it was no use binding Vasudeva and Devaki. He released them. And now full of anger, what to do? So, and here, next day morning, Gokula, everybody found that a beautiful child, male child has been born to Yashoda. And Nanda was the king of those cowards. Oh, everybody was so happy, Beautiful child has been born. And they all started coming in the morning with lot of butter and lot of milk. And they started coming in the earthen pots. They came and they started dancing. While they were dancing, some of the curd fell down. And so much of curd fell down, it became like muddy. And so new persons coming with the one, they slipped. So all the curd further down. And when they were sleeping, so all persons were enjoying, very good. And then some had got some idea. Okay, they brought some turmeric powder, mixed with the curd, and put on the face of somebody. And then they started putting on the face of this color. They put on giving color, throwing butter, throwing curd at each other's face, and all were making merry and dancing. Nand Gher Anand Bhayo, Jai Kanhaiya Lal Ki, Nand Gher Anand Bhayo, Jai Kanhaiya Lal Ki. Even now, you will find in India, in Gujarat, so many temples, so many places, not only in Vrindavan. Vrindavan, of course, that is unimaginable. What type of joy today it will be, you cannot imagine. Even in many temples in Gujarat and many places in north, everywhere, early morning, there will be Nandotsav. Just as it happened, it is a replica of the Utsav that had happened at the time of Nanda. Oh, they will be all making dancing, they will all they will bring big earthen pots of curd and butter, and they will throw on each other's face, and they will play with color, and they will dance, and they will do kirtana, Nand Gher Anand Gayo, Jai Kanhaiya Lal Ki, Nand Gher Anand Bhayo, Jai Kanhaiya Lal Ki. Hathi diya, ghoda diya, aur diya palki. Because Nanda became so happy. To some he gave elephants, to some he gave horses. He was so happy, he was beyond with joy. Everybody, whosoever came, he went on giving some gift of horses and this and that. So, Nanda Gher Anand Bhayo, Jai Kanhaiya Lal Ki, Hathi diya, ghoda diya, aur diya palki. This is how they sing even now, everywhere, every year, during just immediately the day after Krishna Janmashtami day. So that Nandotsav was happening and they became very happy. And this child was divine child, so beautiful, but having extraordinary powers. Kansa was very much angry. Okay, I must kill that child. So he sent one demoness to kill. So the demoness, Putna, she took the form of a very beautiful lady, and she came to Gokula and she said, I heard there's a beautiful child born, I want to see. Oh, naturally, such a nice lady has come. And then to Yashoda said, oh, what a beautiful child. Will you please give me? I want to play with it for 2 minutes. Yashoda became so proud. Yes, my child is beautiful, take. She took it and she went to a solitary place. And she started putting nipples onto the mouth of Krishna. In her nipples, she had lot of poison. So the idea was to kill the child with the poison that was in her breast. But this child was some wonderful child. He went on sucking, and now Putna became restless because he was sucking the very blood out of her. And she started crying, and she took the original form, became big carcass, big giant, big demoness, and she fell down with a great shout, and all people ran. They found small Krishna is playing on the breast of that big demoness. They immediately took the child and took the child to Jashoda. Jashoda was weeping. My child is gone. No, here it is. Then they thought, this is not an ordinary child, something divine child. Such a big demoness he killed. But anyway, now they became very cautious. It is nothing but Kansa's all doing. Kansa killed all the children of Vasudeva, and now he wants to kill the children of Vasudeva's friend Nanda also. They don't know it is the same child. Nobody knows. So they became very cautious. But so many, one after one, demons came, and Sri Krishna finished them all, one by one. So many demons he killed, just in play. And that Bala Lila of Krishna, oh, wonderful. Sometimes he was very, very lovely child, but also very naughty child. Very naughty. Krishna's naughtiness, Then he would go to various gopis and take away their butter and steal away their butter from them. And all these gopis will come and complain to Jashoda. You see, your child is so naughty, he is stealing away our butter. Then Jashoda will feel very bad. Call, hey Krishna, why do you steal butter? Krishna will like a very simple guileless child. Maiya mori main nahi makhan khayo. I have not eaten butter. Why should I go for stealing? You are giving me less butter that I go and steal other butter. These all gopikas, they are liars. Then Jashoda will say, you are all liars. My child is very good. He can never steal. Go. Then the gopikas, they became, their face was very much morose. What is this? This fellow has made us liars? Okay. One day they caught him red-handed. They caught him when he was stealing and full of butter, mouth was butter they brought. You see, now today he can't tell a lie. Now Jashoda said, yes, butter, full of butter. Hey, you are now you are caught. You have stolen butter, isn't it true? No. Maiya mori maini makhan khayo. Even now, caught red-handed. No. Then what is this butter? Oh, I have not taken. These my friends, they have forcibly put all this butter on my head, on my mouth. I have not taken. How can I go there? You see, I am very small and they are putting the butter right, so much long. But he didn't tell the whole thing, how one about the other, all these boys are standing and they take the butter and they throw it and all that. All this is not beaten. Yashoda is very simple lady. She believes her child. Her child is the whole thing. Anyway, there's so much lila. One day, she's telling Krishna, hey, don't eat dust. No, I have not done. No, just now you took dust. Show me your mouth. Then Krishna opened his mouth. What Yashoda saw, whole Brahmanda within the mouth of Krishna. She could not understand, what is this? Then she told, I don't want to see Brahmanda, I don't want to see you as God, I want to see you as my child. Then Shri Krishna again took up the small child again, please give me butter. Again the same lila. One day, this is such a naughty child. Now, Yashoda said, today I am going to bind you down. She brought the rope. And just bound him. But as soon as she is binding, the string is getting short by 2 inches. Again she brought another rope, again 2 inches short. Then Sri Krishna thought, when she became very much nervous, then she said, okay, bind me. Then he allowed to be bound. Now he was bound, and he was bound with a cart, wooden cart, and Yashoda went for some work. Now he started slowly moving and the cart is also moving. He came to a place where 2 trees were standing. There was a very narrow gap. Between the trees he started. Now the cart is also coming on behind. So with the cart, because of the cart, both the trees fell down, and from those trees 2 celestial beings, they started praying, oh Lord, you have given us moksha. It was given to them that Lord Krishna will come and then they will give moksha. They had taken the form of the trees. Likewise, that there are so many lilas, divine sport. The 10th skanda of Bhagavata, full of such very beautiful, very nice lila, what all he did. And then at the age of 5 years, when so many demons were coming, then Nanda thought, now they called a meeting, we must do something, it is too much dangerous, our child may be taken away. So they all decided to leave Gokula, and they went to a beautiful place called Vrindavan, just near by the side of Yamuna. So all of them, they got transferred to Vrindavan. Vrindavan also, he did so much beautiful lila. Then he used to go with the cowherd boys, go for grazing of the cows, and he had a beautiful flute. He used to play on flute, and then they would make merry, they would dance, they would sing, whole day they will enjoy, and then come back. It's a beautiful whole lila, Vrindavan lila of Krishna. And then he would protect. One day he saw that somebody has been poisoned. So what happened? Because he had taken the water of Yamuna, then he found out Kaliya Nag, the serpent, he is doing the whole mischief. So he went inside Yamuna and fought with Kaliya Nag, Kaliya serpent. Why? Then Kaliya was defeated. Then he told, go, leave this place immediately, I am not going to kill you. And Kaliya Nag, serpent, leaves the place. Likewise, so many things. Then Nanda used to worship Indra, god of all gods. Then Sri Krishna said, why should you worship Indra? Why should you worship? You should worship only one God who is the supreme God. Why should you worship all these small gods? If at all you have to worship Govardhana. Govardhana mountain gives us grass, Govardhan mountain gives us protection, Govardhan mountain gives us rain, everything he gives. So that day, Annakut Utsava was arranged by Nanda in favor of mountain Govardhan, and Indra's worship was discontinued. Indra got furious. What? My worship is discontinued? Okay, I'll see. And then a big downpour came on Vrindavan. All the cowherd boys, and they became terrified. But Sri Krishna said, don't worry. He took up the whole Govardhan mountain, and on his small finger, He held it up, the whole mountain, for 7 days. And any downpour, the whole Vrindavan, nothing. With only one small finger he is holding. That is why he is called Govardhan Dharana. Govardhan Dhari Shri Krishna. There is if you go to Vrindavan, you will find a special temple of Govardhan Dhari Shri Krishna. That Govardhan mountain is still there. They do parikrama of Govardhan. Whole Vraj parikrama they do. The Govardhan is also there. So because he held the whole Govardhan mountain with his own finger, that is why Shri Krishna is called Govardhan Dhari. And likewise, he did lot of lila like this. Then he did Ras Lila with Gopikas. It is told these Gopika were none but rishis in the previous birth. This birth they had come just to enjoy the play of God. Because they had done a lot of austerities as rishis, they had been born as Gopikas to enjoy companionship of God. But it's very difficult to understand all these things with our limited mind. But this is all. This Ras Lila has been also depicted in Bhagavata, how Shri Krishna played with them and all this. Now, Kamsa thought, Krishna has to be killed. All the demons have been failed. Now, better to call him to Mathura on some pretext and kill him here rather than sending someone there. So he sent a message that there will be very good game and very good play and there will be very big festival. So he sent message to Nanda, come with all your villagers for this Utsava, for this celebration. And he sent Akrura. The messenger was Akrura. Akrura went, and so Sri Krishna and Balaram, they went in the chariot of Akrura, and other people they followed. While they were crossing, they came to Yamuna. Krishna went and dipped to take bath. When he came out, it was different Krishna. They say, then Krishna changed. So far it was Vrindavan Lila Dhari Krishna. Now he took up another form. Now he had to kill Kamsa. So he took up another form, a stout form. Akrura took Rama and Krishna, this Balram and Krishna. They went there and they had a fight. So first they had a fight with the wrestlers. Kansa Chanura Mardanam, Chanur and Mustikam. These two Rakshasas, these two great wrestlers, first they were killed by Krishna. Then Kamsa was very much annoyed. So he was sitting on the throne and he declared that these Vasudev and Devaki should be again imprisoned. His father was already in prison, Ugrasen, and he told this should be also given punishment. All these things he was declaring. Now Krishna said, enough. He went there, dragged him from the throne, put him there, and instantly killed him. Killed the Kamsa. Finished. Killed Kamsa immediately. And released Ugrasen from the jail, from the prison, made him the king. That is why he is kingmaker. Sri Krishna, he was above any attachment. He was not attached to kingdom. He was not attached to places. He was not attached to anything in the world. But he wanted only good of the world. He wanted the earth to be away, to be relieved from all these types of atrocities of the king like Kamsa, who were doing all sorts of atrocities on the people. So he released them, released Ugrasen, made him the king. He did not himself become the king. He made Ugrasen the king. And then he told Nanda and Yashoda, now my real father and mother are Vasudev and Devaki. I have given them enough trouble. They have been always weeping without me. They don't know that I am still alive. Now I will stay here in Mathura. All of you go back. Impossible. We cannot go back. All the cowherd boys started weeping, and all the Gopikas started weeping, and then Jashoda, Nanda, no, we won't go. We can't live without you. But Shri Krishna had a different role to play. No, you have to go. You go, I will be sitting in your heart. Like that he told. Somehow they, with a very, very heavy heart, all of them, they returned to Vrindavan. Krishna lived on there in Mathura to protect the kingdom to look after his real parents, Devaki and Vasudeva. Now, this Kansa's father-in-law was Jarasandha. He got annoyed because Kansa's two wives, they told their father, this is how our situation has been made, Kamsa has been killed, you must take revenge. So Jarasandha attacked Mathura with all his force. He had a big force. He was the king of Magadha, great king. And this Ugrasen's army was very small. Still, because of Krishna's tricks, somehow the army was sent back. 17 times Jarasandha attacked Mathura, and 17 times the army was returned. Now, so many people died in the middle, in the process. So now, Sri Krishna thought, let there be no bloodshed. It is only because of me that the whole bloodshed is being done. So he told his brother Balram, I'll leave this country so that there will be no bloodshed. Only because of me all the poor people of Mathura are being harassed, so let me leave. Balram said, I will also come with you. Both of them left for Dwarka. They went for the place Dwarka. He left the place of war. That is why he is called Ranchodrai. Ran means war. Chod means one who has left the war is called Ranchodrai. Another name of Krishna is Ranchodrai. Because Ranchodrai's temple are there many. Why? Because he left the war. Because he did not want bloodshed. He wanted only for his sake the whole country should not be dragged into the war. So he left the war in between and left to another place from Mathura. He went to Dwarka. So that is why his name is Ranchodrai. So while he was going, but in the way, this Jarasandha had his friend Kala Yavana. He was also a fearful king. He was also a very cruel king like Jarasandha. So he wanted to kill Krishna. So Krishna thought Jarasandha and Kaliya Damana, this Kaliyavana, both cannot be dealt with simultaneously. So he himself went alone to the camp of Kaliyavana. He knew as soon as Kaliyavana sees him, he will run after him. So he went there and showed himself. So as expected, Kaliyavana ran after him. And Krishna was expert in running. He went on running. And Kaliyavana also ran after him. And he came as planned. Oh, such a smart fellow. Such a nice planning. He came to the caves of Muchkunda. Muchkunda was a rishi. He came to the cave of Rishi there and he hid himself in a corner. And what did he do? Muchkunda Muni at that time was sleeping. So he put his own cloth on the body of Muchkunda and he stood on one side, on one corner, hid himself. Now this Kaliyavana came and he saw, oh, you fellow, you have started sleeping here and trying to misguide me. Okay. And he just gave a kick. As soon as he gave a kick, the Muchkunda Rishi, he woke up. Now Muchkunda Rishi had that power because of his tapasya. To anybody who would look with anger, instantly he will burn to death, burn to ashes. So he immediately looked with anger and Kaliyavana died on the spot, burned to death. So Kaliyavana gone. Now it is Jarasandha who has to be killed. One after another. He has to kill, Krishna. He has to finish all the great Rakshasas and cruel kings. Now how to kill Jarasandha? He did not want. He could have had a attack on Jarasandha and finished. But he did not want a bloodshed. Why all the people should be killed? So he took the disguise of Brahmins. Himself, Bhima and Arjuna. 3 Brahmins went to Jarasandha and challenged, what? You are talking too much about your strength and all that. Can you fight with us? Let us see. Let us see your strength. So they gave challenge. So Jarasandha was very much disturbed. Oh, you want to give me challenge? Don't you know? Okay, with whom you will fight? He said, you are all poor fellows, how will I fight? This fat fellow is okay. He can only fight with me. That is Bhima. So there was a wrestling with Bhima. After 15 days of wrestling, Jarasandha was killed by Bhima. Jarasandha didn't know he is Bhima, otherwise he would not have dared to fight with him. But they came in the disguise of Brahmins. They thought, just an ordinary Brahmin coming to fight with me. He took up the challenge. The whole city is watching. Now he cannot escape also. Whole city is watching. Wrestling between one Brahmin and Jarasandha. Killed. So then Jarasandha, but Krishna did not become the king of Magad. No. He made his younger son, who was little kind, made him his king. So Sri Krishna is the king maker. He did not become king. Everywhere he is making others king. Then the story of Mahabharata we already know very well. Pandavas and Kauravas, there was a great war. This how the Pandavas were being given impartial treatment. Then somehow or the other they were trying to burn, but somehow they escaped. Sri Krishna came to know, and then he met them and told Kunti was the sister of Vasudeva. That is means his father's sister. So they were all his cousin brothers, Pandavas. So he took care of them, told them, don't worry. And then when Dhritarashtra came to know, he gave half the kingdom. And then Pandavas started living in that kingdom, in that Khandavana. And then there is a big story how Maya, the Rakshasa, was won over. He asked for some sort of service to be done to Arjuna, and then Arjuna told to build then Krishna told to build a beautiful hall, a beautiful palace in that Khandavana for Yudhishthira, and that was such a wonderful thing. And then Rajasuya Yagna was done, and all the kings came to pay their respects. Duryodhana also came, and he was burning with jealousy. So naturally, he immediately went back and said, somehow these Pandavas must be finished. So he, with his maternal uncle, Shakuni, he drew out a plan and called Yudhishthira and all the brothers for a play of gambling. Now that on those days, it was a considered custom. A Kshatriya cannot deny any such invitation. If they deny, they are not Kshatriya. They are not Kshatriya. So they have to comply with any invitation. Otherwise it will be termed as cowardice. So they went, and Yudhishthira went on keeping everything. He lost the whole kingdom. He lost his brothers. He lost his wife Draupadi also. Everything lost. And then Draupadi was insulted in the open court, open palace. The whole court was there, all the people were there. At that time, Draupadi was insulted, and Dushasan came to take away all the clothes of Draupadi. And that time Draupadi very piteously cried, oh Krishna, please protect me, please save me. There is none like you who can protect me. Kaunteya pratijanemi name bhakta pranashati. We saw in the evening, that is the promise given by Krishna. So when Draupadi called, immediately Krishna came to the rescue. And he supplied in a divine way so much big cloth. Dushasan went on taking the cloth, and cloth is not ending. It went on. He could not strip Draupadi of the clothes. That is how Sri Krishna helped Draupadi in saving her from this predicament. And then they were told to go for 13 years exile, out of which 1 year they should be completely in exile when nobody should know about them. And that is how Pandavas underwent a lot of suffering. And then later on, when 13 years were over, they came back, and now they wanted half the kingdom as promised. But Duryodhana said, I will not give half the kingdom. Then Shri Krishna wanted that no, there should not be any war. So Pandavas said, we don't want any war. So Shri Krishna was sent as a messenger to find out a deal Let us have some sort of a compromise. Then Krishna told, okay, the Pandavas are very peace-loving people. They want only 5 villages, that's all. 5 villages for 5 brothers. All kingdom, everything, all treasures you keep, that's all. Duryodhana said, what? You talk about 5 villages? I cannot give a small fraction of a land, even to the fraction of a tip of a pin, tip of a needle. That much land also will not give. I am not ready to give at any cost. So now there was absolutely nothing, no alternative. Ultimately, the war had to be declared because Shri Krishna had tried all his means to avoid the war. It was not possible. So it was decided on both the sides there will be war, both the sides there will be great armies, both the sides started inviting kings to be in their own side. Now, Arjuna thought, I must go to Krishna for help for this war. And Duryodhana also thought, let me go to Krishna for getting help from the war. So both reached at the same time. Duryodhana reached a little early, but he found Shri Krishna sleeping. So he sat down by the side of Shri Krishna in a throne. Arjuna came immediately after that. He saw Shri Krishna sleeping, so he sat down at his feet. As soon as Shri Krishna opened his eyes, he first saw Arjuna. He said, why have you come? To seek help from you. Then Duryodhana said, I have come earlier than him, I also want help from you. Then Shri Krishna said, both of you have come, okay, I will give help to both of you. But first preference will be given to Arjuna because my eyes fell on him. He will get the first preference. Now, this is the thing. You have to choose between the two. On one side will be my 9 lakh soldiers who will be fighting. 9 lakh soldiers I will give as help to you. And another side I will be alone. But I will not take up a weapon on my hand. So you choose between the two. Either me without any weapon or my army of 9 lakh soldiers. 900,000 soldiers. You choose. Arjuna was given the first preference. Duryodhana was very much morose that he will ask for the army and I will be left with only Krishna without weapon. But Arjuna said, I want you, Krishna, I don't want anybody else. Shri Krishna said, okay, I will come with you, I will be with your charioteer, but I will come without weapon. Duryodhana said, you fool, 900,000 soldiers you are giving up for Krishna without weapon? Oh, he became very much overjoyed. Okay, now I have won the war, I won the game. He became very happy. He didn't know who has won the war ultimately. Ultimately, Sri Krishna, the Lord of all lords, the Lord of the whole world, he is with Arjuna. Who can defeat Arjuna with whom the Lord is there? If Lord be with us, who can be against us? Who can win? Arjuna had. Because Arjuna opted for Sri Krishna, that was the greatest moment of his life. This is also in our life. When we choose Sri Krishna, when we choose the Lord, we have won the game. That's all what we have to do. Choose the Lord as our counselor. Choose the Lord as our advisor. Choose the Lord. Whenever we are in distress, let us approach the Lord. Let us not approach thousands and thousands of people will be there to advise. Thousands of people will be there to help. All that help is nothing compared to the help of the Lord, the Supreme Lord. Arjuna opted for Sri Krishna. That's why we know the whole thing. Gita we heard how whole Mahabharata was fought and ultimately Pandavas won. All the Kauravas dead, Duryodhana dead, Dushasan dead, Karna dead, everybody died, only Pandavas remained. And then later on Yudhishthira became, then Sri Krishna took up the task of enthroning Yudhishthira. He did not take, never he takes the throne, made Yudhishthira the emperor of the whole India. Hastinapur made the capital, called for a Rasu Yagna, again a Rasu Yagna, and made Yudhishthira the emperor of the whole of India. That is how his task was done. And then he saw that Yadavas, his own caste people, had become too much ruddy and they were troubling the people. He did not want the general public should be disturbed. He did not want the public to be disturbed or the people should be suffering. So, this amount of detachment that he had. Though his own clan people, they were making problems, he destroyed them all. He found out a plan of destroying all the Yadavas. And then he was sitting under a tree and meditating, and one person thought with the arrow, he thought that it is something else, a deer or something like that. And he shot the arrow, and the arrow came to the feet of Shri Krishna. And then he entered into the eternal abode. Something must be there. A light came out and he went into eternal abode. That place is near Somnath. There is a Somnath temple. Very near Somnath temple you will find Bhalka Tirtha. There is a beautiful temple constructed on the spot under the tree where Shri Krishna got this arrow. And just near that, about 1 or 2 kilometers near Somnath temple, is Prabhas Tirtha, where you will find Dehosarga, where the last remnants of Shri Krishna were cremated. That all these spots are near Somnath. And Somnath is very near to Junagadh. Junagadh is the place where that mountain Girnar is standing. Kaivar, this mountain Girnar. At the foot of the Girnar is that Muchkund Gufa, Muchkund cave, where that Kal Yavana was killed. Muchkund Muni killed Kal Yavana. That place is very near Junagadh. Junagadh is very near Somnath. And Bhalka Tirth also very near Somnath. And Somnath and this Dehosarga, Prabhas Tirth also very near Somnath. And Somnath is very near Porbandar, where Sudama used to stay, from where he had gone to Dwarka. Dwarka also very near Porbandar. Dwarka, Somnath, Porbandar, Junagadh, they are all in a radius, all in a 100 kilometer. If you go here and there, you get the whole thing. 97 kilometer from Porbandar is Dwarka, 127 kilometer Porbandar is Somnath, Bhalka Tirth only 7 kilometer, and that cave where this jewel was found by Shri Krishna in the Jambusar from that beer Jambuvan. Jambuvan at the time of Ramayana, but at the time of Krishna, the same Jambuvan was there living in a cave. That cave where from Jambuvan he recovered that jewel, Syantak Mani, that cave is only 20 kilometers from Porbandar, near the place Ranavav. All these historic places are around Porbandar. Dwarka, Somnath, that Jambuvan cave, that Muchkund Gufa cave, Muchkund cave, so Junagadh, old place, Narsi Mehta's place, where Narsi Mehta used to stay, that place is in Junagadh itself, and that Damodar Kund, where Damodar, this Narsi Mehta used to go to Damodar Kund, that Damodar Kund, and that Girnar forest, Girnar mountain and Gir forest containing lions. These are all in the same area. It's a historical place. So many historical significant places are there. So that history took place more than 5,000 years back. More than 5,000 years back. But even today we find. So it's a day, it's a great day today, Krishna Janmashtami, when we remember the great Leela of Shri Krishna, who came as per his promise to redeem this earth from the evil forces, from the evil demons, from the evil kings, and to establish dharma, to establish righteousness, to protect the virtuous people, and to kill the wicked people. He came in the form of Krishna 5,000 years back, and what a wonderful Leela he did. His Bala Leela, childhood play, wonderful, beautiful, as Krishna, the Makhanchor Krishna, Maiya mori main nahi makhan khayo. What a beautiful, and then Bansidhari Shri Krishna playing with the flute, and then Ras Lila, and then as a king, the king maker, the pastoral Shri Krishna and the king maker Shri Krishna both merge into one another. He has got two such forms. One is so sweet boy of Vrindavan and Gokula, and the other side is a great statesman, is a great politician, great diplomat, and a great warrior, and a great king maker. These are the two aspects of Sri Krishna. On this day, Janmashtami day, that Lord himself came to redeem us, and he gave that message, beautiful message of the Bhagavad Gita, about which we have heard for 7 days. So on this day, let us pray to Sri Krishna, the Lord. May he grant us peace. May he grant us devotion at his lotus feet. May we not forget him, and may he remember his message, and may we make our life blessed by following in his footsteps and by having devotion and love towards him. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tassat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.